This is Learning Target 7.4, using the properties of 45, 45, 90 and 30, 60, 90 triangles to solve for missing side lengths. So the first thing we want to do in these problems is always use our given length to find out what x is. So if we line it up with the picture, our given length is actually what x equals. So x equals 7 square roots of 2. Now we need to figure out what m equals in terms of x so that we can plug our x in and figure out what m is. So our m lines up with x square root of 2. So m equals x square root of 2. Now all we have to do is plug in our x and we'll know what m is. So we have m equals 7 square root of 2 times the square root of 2. Now, the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is the same thing as the square root of 2 squared, right? So again, you just cancel these out, and all we're left with is 2. So m equals 7 times 2. And multiplying that together, we have m equals 14. Now we're going to go the other way. We are given the hypotenuse, and we need to find the legs. So we need to use this to figure out what x equals. So this 5 square roots of 2 is equal to, is equal to our hypotenuse, x square root of 2. So we need to solve for x. So we'll divide both sides by the square root of 2. And we're left with 5 square roots of 2 over square root of 2 is equal to x. Now these two are going to cancel out, and we're going to have x equals 5. Now we have to figure out what n equals so that we can figure out what it is. So if we line it up with this picture, we have n equals x. Well, we already know what x is, so we just plug it in and we get n equals 5. Now we're going to use the properties of a 30, 60, 90 triangle. And you guys are just getting out of your 6th hour final. But anyways, okay, so we are given 9 and we need to figure out what x equals. So 9 in this case is actually going to equal x. So x equals 9. Now let's figure out what our m equals. M equals 2x. So we just need to plug in our 9 and we get m equals 2 times 9. So m equals 18. Now we need to figure out what n equals. N lines up with this one, so our n equals x times the square root of 3. You just plug in our x, and we have n equals 9 square roots of 3. And we have solved for all the variables. So we have n equals 9 square roots of 3, and m equals 18. This time we are given our long leg, so we have to line it up with this and figure out what x equals. So 3 square roots of 3 equals x times the square root of 3. So we need to solve for x. So divide by the square root of 3. These two are going to cancel out, and we're going to get 3 equals x. So now let's start with m. What does our m equal? It lines up with our 2x. So m equals 2x. And we already have x, so we just plug it in. We have m equals 2 times 3, so m equals 6. Now our n lines up with our x, and when we know what x is, so n equals x, so n is just equal to 3. And we have our missing side lengths. We'll do one more. This time we are given our hypotenuse. So that lines up with our 2x, so we need to solve for x. So we have 12 times the square root of 3 is equal to 2x. We need to divide both sides by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6, so we'll have 6 square roots of 3 is equal to x. Now let's solve for n. Our n matches up with our x square root of 3, so n equals x square roots of 3. We know what x is, so we just need to plug it in. So we have n equals 6 square root of 3 times the square root of 3. Remember, if we have the square root of the same number times itself, The square roots cancel out, and one of the 3's, and we're just left with n equals 6 times 3, which is equal to 18. And then we need to figure out what m equals, so we line it up with the x, so m equals x, but we already know what x is. It's our 6 square roots of 3, so we just plug it in and we get m equals 6 square roots of 3. And we've solved for both of our variables. And that's all I have for today.